Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club, but for movies. This week we're doing The Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner, and like always, we have movie news at the end of the program. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and the man who loves his little box, Ryan Preston. This week we're doing the movie Bourne Legacy, and this week it was a joint pick between the three of us. James, you want to give a short synopsis of what this one's about?
Basically, it's there was another program besides what was the first one? It was
Bourne Identity.
No, the first program.
The first program, Treadstone?
Yes, thank you,
Treadstone.
I was trying to think, I was going to say Blackbriar, but I knew that was the second one. Anyway, so this one is another program that's kind of, they decided they were going to wipe it all out.
You'd say it was a genesis of the original Blackbriar and Treadstone were a genesis of this program, right? This is the new, latest, and greatest.
Right.
Yeah.
It's based off the original technology.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they decide that this one's getting a little bit too hairy as far as the fact that the media is pushing on it. They decide to wipe everybody out. They miss one. Blah, blah, blah. He decides that he needs to get off the pills and have all the genetic enhancements permanent so that he doesn't revert back to a previous state of, stupidity.
Normal people.
No, actually, it's just stupidity. He didn't want to go back to being dumb.
Dumber. He'd go back in intelligence. He'd go back to the original point he was at before he started taking the viral, I guess.
Yeah. Well, actually, they said it would be worse.
Oh, wow. It would actually make him dumber.
Yeah, it would actually revert him back to a dumb state. And then he's talked about that. They showed videos of them coming off of it, and it was a horrible thing that he had seen. So
it's like loosely based on that flick Charlie back in the day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's got Jeremy Renner starring in it, and I
think this
this is coming off of the back of all the Matt Damons.
Yeah, and this is Jeremy Renner's first major starring movie that I know of. He was in the movie SWAT. He was Hawkeye in Avengers. This is the first one I know that he's been the title character.
The Hurt Locker.
Oh yeah.
Was he a main character?
Kate Bigelow's Hurt Locker, which ended up getting Best Picture, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely had some pull after that, which I think landed him the whole Avengers thing. But he's sort of coming to his own as far as not necessarily because he doesn't give off that leading man thing. He sort of falls into a charter actor for me. But
I'd say more like a supporting actor, if best. But yeah, I think
he's a great actor. I don't mean to
don't downplay the guy, but I think
but he's not your. He kind of came out of left field with the whole leading role thing, and
I would give you that.
So far.
Yeah, I actually really liked him in the SWAT. The movie sucked, but I thought he did a pretty good job. And
I can't pick anybody out I liked in that movie because the movie did suck. So,
I thought he did a good job.
I mean, in a movie that sucks, there's going to be one or two people that do a good job, but when the overall thing sucks, you really can't say that guy did a fantastic job in that sucky ass movie.
We both know you liked Ladies Love. Come on.
It was just a poorly written flick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's off a basis TV, a '70s television show. How good can it be?
Right.
So did you want me to start this one off, or did you?
Well, I'll start this off, but I want to say Ryan didn't have the chance to see it because for some reason it disappeared from his local theater, which means he should go.
I was putting it off, but this isn't the first time I missed homework and showed up to school, so.
Yeah, but this means you should live in a place.
This means to really hear what's going on from a perspective of I'm a huge fan of the first three movies.
But was that to imply that you actually did homework?
No, that's what I'm saying. I just kept going. And,
okay.
Homework wasn't even an afterthought.
So to quote Ryan Preston in earliest Real Flix Reviews, this means he needs to live in a local area that actually has movies in it.
Well, no, I just need to stop putting shit off until the last minute.
Sure. So
he's been moved.
So what Ryan's going to do is, like previous episode, he didn't have a chance to see it. We're going to give him our 6 points, 5 points, and he's basically off of what we say is going to give his yes, I'll see it, no, I won't type of thing.
And I'm going to try to derail it from my knowledge of the first three movies and start picking your points apart
And also what it means, if he does get a chance to see it at some point, he'll give a short synopsis and his small points about if he liked it or not, if he does get a chance to see it. And I'll go. One thing is I liked how they actually tied this in Bourne universe. It took place roughly in the same time frame as the third Bourne.
I think it was right
when Bourne was in New York.
The tail end of the second one.
No, third one.
it was the tail end of the second one into the third one because he wasn't in New York initially.
Yeah, that's right. Because it mentioned he was in Russia, then he appeared in New York. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So in the second movie, he went to go visit the girl.
He's not paying attention.
What'd you say?
I was waiting for Ryan to finish his point before I cut him off again.
And then the third one, he started it.
The other one, I got to say, it has the same tempo style during the action scenes as the originals 3, like keeping the action fast-paced while keeping the slow story parts really important to the movie.
And they always had a way of driving the dialogue to where you feel like you're absorbing a shit ton of information.
And you don't actually know anything.
In a short period of time.
Yeah, and it makes you like, okay, I can't wait till the next scene. The other things, I love the color palette choice. It still has that surreal color choice that the original 3 had, which being a fourth movie with a different actor kind of made me a little worried, especially when I think it had a different director.
Maybe. Ryan, you got that, or do you want me to?
I don't have it right here in front of me. You know what I was actually going to ask though? The original 3 was this was based in some kind of I don't want to say Tom Clancy, but it was.
Well, Robert Ludlum wrote the original books.
Okay, right, and he wrote the first 2, Bourne Identity and Bourne Supremacy. He really had nothing to do with the Ultimatum or this one. But
well, the thing is, I'm not sure. I don't remember if Robert Ludlum is actually still alive. So my guess is his family was involved in it somehow. Maybe,
but my point is he did a really great job of establishing a great universe in which to work in. You know what I mean? And all of like the Tom Clancy stuff. You know what I mean? Had that same kind of all the John Ryan movies. You know.
It looks like I was wrong. I guess the original director did do all the movies, so I'm sorry. Originally, I heard somewhere down the line beforehand that it was by a different director.
He directed the Bourne Legacy. He was writer for Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Supremacy, and Bourne Identity.
So he wasn't the director of the other 3?
He was not the director of the other 3. He was a writer for the other
3. He wrote the first 3 movies, you just said, right?
Yeah. The director of the 4th one, which is Bourne Legacy, co-authored or wrote the other 3.
Yeah, that was a 3 amazing screenplays. Like I said, they put a lot into that.
And the other thing, another point of mine is it seems to miss the serious drama overtones that the original have. Instead, it was replaced by an action movie sensibility.
Okay. Which is, I think, what most people fear.
Yeah, because I thought the first 2 really, I thought had a lot of real drama tones. And I think the third one was missing it in certain areas, but to me that
first 2 written by the guy,
based
on his 2 novels, and then they just wanted to tie it up with the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the last one is the longest chase scene in any movie ever seen. It's got to be, if not a half, it's a third of the entire movie.
Are you talking about the motorcycle?
The motorcycle scene. It was the last half of the entire movie.
I would say,
is it longer than the chase scene in the Blues Brothers?
I'm thinking Ronin.
Yeah, I was thinking Ronin. I'm thinking Ronin's got to have one beat on that.
I bet it does.
Anyway,
the chase scene in the Blues Brothers, they must have wrecked about 300 Chevy Caprices.
Yeah.
I'm impressed they found that many.
I mean, pretty easy to find those things. They were police cars all over the place.
And that was really it. I mean, I like the movie overall, but yeah, just the certain not having the hardcore drama in parts, the feeling of it, I thought to me was such a shame because I thought the original 3 had that, especially the first one when they were introducing him as the character. What about you, James?
Well, kind of, I thought the drama in the beginning portions where they were in the cabin and everything like that, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah. I agree.
Little bit in the scene of the doctor by herself and tying her in with, oh gosh, what was this character's name? It's not Bourne, it's Aaron. Wasn't it Aaron?
Yeah, it was Aaron
Cross.
Yeah.
So she was a doctor at the facility?
At the facility where they make the drugs that they were giving him.
No. She didn't make the drugs. Well, she was a researcher in it.
Yeah, she would take their blood samples and figure out what the dosage needed to be increased, what dosage needed to be decreased, and stuff like that.
And it started out as just like pills, dosage of pills, and then you said something like they end up.
They were taking 2 pills. I don't know if you remember Bourne, and I think it was the Bourne Supremacy. Is where they were introducing more of the type of pill story. That he was on a pill regimen.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was a little There was something in there. I think there was like his necklace.
They started to mention a lot of the how they broke him down and brought into a little bit of the training.
Yeah, stuff like that. So they had that in there, that he was on the pill regiment in green and blues, and they had worked him off of the greens, and for some reason he was still taking them, And she said, "Well, we've already taken all those physical enhancements, and those are permanent now. You don't need to take those pills anymore." And then he found out that the blues, he still needs to take the blues because they haven't viraled him off of those yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the whole movie is. What kind of extra special stuff are we talking about that he's capable of here? I mean, what I'm really hoping is they didn't go too far into the what the fuck is this 2072 already or something,
No. He can't punch through walls or any of that crap.
Okay.
It's just that he has faster muscle reflexes.
Faster healing, stuff like that.
A little bit better healing and things like that. He doesn't need to have as much rest. He's not sleeping. I mean, there's a point where he sleeps for 2 days because of the effects of going viral on his mental ability. Anyway, the point where I'm going with this is that I think that was a nice little addition to the storyline of this whole thing. I did like the fact that he did find out that there's more of him than just that.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while there, you're kind of thinking that Bourne is the only one that's ever, as powerful and as tough as he is, type of thing.
But Bourne knew somehow that there was more of him.
Yeah.
Well, he met a couple. He killed one of the guys.
Yeah, he did early on, the blonde guy.
Yeah.
Born Identity, he killed the guy right off the bat with the pen. With the pen. I love that scene. That was such a cool scene.
Well, that guy was just a regular hitman, but he might have been part of.
I think he was part of the Bourne.
There was the other guy that in the field that he got with the bird shotgun.
That's right. Yeah. No, that was in the first one at the end of the movie.
The one that sort of explained, are you getting the headaches, and it kind of let him know, oh shit, there's more to this,
Yeah. That's from not taking the blue pills.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So
they're throwing a little science behind all the crazy.
Yeah, and I thought that was a cool thing. One of the things I got to say is I actually like the Aaron Cross character better than I like the Jason Bourne character. He actually grew on me quite a bit. I think he was a little bit more violent, and
he wasn't as whiny.
Yeah, he wasn't as whiny, and they actually mentioned that the Blackbriar, the Treadstone. And I can't remember the name of this one. It's Outcry or Outcast or something like that.
I don't remember.
Was the name of this program. And they said that, the Jason Bourne one had more sympathy or empathy for people. The Blackbriar had, there was all these little tweaks that they were trying to work out of these guys in the program. Mm-hmm. And they said that this one had a little bit more, I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember exactly what they said this one had, but it wasn't like the empathy or sympathy thing. They just would fall in love with a person or something. They'd fall in love with somebody. That was it.
But so the doctor lady was the love interest?
Yeah, ended up being the love interest, of course. Anyways, but I kind of liked him a little bit better because he wasn't as whiny, and he was more inclined to kill somebody than Jason was.
But I think part of the Jason thing is Jason didn't remember any of his history, where at least Jeremy Renner at least knew enough to know where he had come from. Yeah. Maybe not his hometown. Huh?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, he understood more of his backstory. I think part of the reason Jason Bourne was such a whiny character is I don't think Jason Bourne the whole time was like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And that was basically the major underlying plot point through the entire movie. All three movies was, who is this character called Jason Bourne?
Well, I think his whole motivation I hate to use motivation in this kind of shit. Sounds pretentious, but what he was driving at.
What's
the whole
my
time.
motivation
First
here?
point, it was okay. Who the hell am I? What the hell happened? But what he remembered was just being, like a decent human being. Didn't want to hurt anybody. Didn't really have the motivation to go out and really cause a lot of damage. Did what he had to do. And then the second one was like, dude, just leave me the F alone.
Yeah.
And then third one was, I told you to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was really going to boil it down to is I did like this movie. I thought it was pretty good. The things that bugged me about it were a lot of the cinematography. I don't like spinning cameras.
Which part do they use?
In the beginning, there was this whole scene, like right after the missile had gone off, and it was a scene with Edward Norton and his crew, and the camera just spun around the room and around the room, and it's like, am I on a freaking carousel here? What the hell?
I don't remember that.
I don't need to be spinning around these people. It was annoying.
Well, I think the whole series might have pioneered the whole, nauseous camera.
Number 3. And number 3 most of all.
I don't know if it was the first one originally or the second one, but they developed a whole new way of shooting a fight sequence, as far as they basically did everything like contact-wise, but then they just sped up the film.
That was number 1. They did that, and then they kept it going throughout. And then that wasn't too bad, and that doesn't bother me that much. What bothered me was the jumping, spinning camera during the chase scene, the 30-minute chase scene that John was talking about. Right. Where they were taking the camera and like zooming it all over the place, and it's like, I'm actually trying to watch something here.
Right.
Can somebody actually like focus on something instead of just like bouncing all over the place? That was pretty bad.
Look, I know you, dude. You're not trying to diss any kind of artful sort of cinematography.
No.
But in an action movie like this, I definitely see where you're coming from.
I mean, that's like an abstract thing right there. That's like somebody chucking a bucket of paint on a canvas and saying, "Hey, it's a bird." It's like, really? Come on.
It seemed like they were trying to tell an additional story with the camera, just not with the things they were filming.
No.
Yeah.
I'm strictly... Hold on, guys. I am strictly just talking about the chasing.
No, that's what I was talking about. With the chase scene, it seemed like they were trying to make it more fast-paced, more dramatic by making these really weird fast zooms, quick cuts.
But see, what they don't realize is the reason we like a car chase is because we like to see cars getting chased and whatnot. Yeah. And I mean, Bullet. When was that? 60, 67, something like that?
Yeah, I think it was 60-something.
I mean, they filmed the same car going around the same corner just from 4 different angles and chopped that into a really memorable car chase. But you got to see everything. I mean, nobody needs to reinvent the freaking wheel on this one.
No. They really don't. And I mean, it's just I think what they were trying to do there was they were trying to take part of the way that they had done the fight sequences and turn that into the way that they were doing the chase sequence.
Car chase, yeah.
And I think that's what they were trying to do. And I'm sorry, guys, but fail. And it was 1968.
Yeah,
okay.
There was one scene they did something similar where the guy was going down the stairs on a motorcycle.
Oh,
Didn't they? He started up top with him and it switched, didn't it? Where you could see him coming down. It was something. The way they did it was really kind of like there was no point to it.
Well, I think I understand it because they weren't trying to show you how he actually got down the stairs. Because the way they jumped the camera was he started going down the stairs and then they jumped into another part where you couldn't see the actual stairs. You could just see him going down.
They didn't want you to see all the grease they used to get it down the thing.
Yeah. Right. But that's one of the things that really bugged me. And the last thing about this movie, and this has to be my biggest problem with this one, is the end. They're on a boat in the... Was it Philippines or
it was the Philippines?
I think it was the Philippines. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Philippines. Anyway, they're in a boat on the Philippines, and I mean they literally just got away from one of the other guys from another program that they weren't supposed to have up and running. They just got
the Venom version of
the Venom version of the program that they just got out of and the guy was he did die. Yeah, he was dead. And they get on this boat. They're in the boat. They're out in the middle of the water. He asked for a map. Aaron Cross asked for a map. Gets the map. Dr. Chick goes, "Are we lost?" "No." "I was hoping we'd be lost." Rolls up the map. Are you freaking kidding me? You have all these guys after you trying to kill you still, and you're going to end the movie on, let's just throw caution to the wind.
So that
Are you serious?
Right off into the sunset.
Yeah.
He's still on their ass.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I'm surprised they didn't start doing the Happy Trails song, from Roy Rogers. But what James...
I mean, the thing about... Hold on, I'm not done yet. The thing about these guys that are chasing them, they got super duper Google Earth guys. They can zoom in on the area where the guy just died. Oh, there's a boat leaving. Let's track that. There he is. Let's send a nuke.
Well, in theory, they didn't know where their guy was, right?
No, they knew where he was.
Really?
They didn't lose him.
Well, because after the guy got hurt underneath, there is. I'm assuming there is a possible way because they're in that underneath some sort of thing where a satellite can't get to it. I'm assuming there was a way that they could get away that they necessarily weren't paying attention to. That's what I'm assuming they were going to do.
No, they had all this surveillance stuff on that area. They know where their guy disappeared.
Yeah, they don't know what. Yeah, but they don't necessarily know what's happening in.
I got a question for you. If you have a guy that is supposed to be killing somebody disappear on a dock, where's the first place you're going to look?
On the dock, not necessarily the boats.
So if the boats are leaving, are you going to have like a satellite that you can check every boat that goes away when you have that many people as they did in their little war room checking everything? I think I would. It's just kind of logic. I mean, they would have to be the stupidest spies ever.
Well, I'm assuming because somebody helped them. So that's the only thing, I got to assume is somehow they didn't see him get away.
But I'm thinking...
They might be relying on the fact, like, oh, these guys are really good. Of course they're going to be able to figure out a way to evade, so use your friggin' imagination.
Well, okay, but I guess I gotta let a little bit slide because I think that they're going to be done with the series. I think this is the end.
I hope so. I mean,
it's not. It's not going to be.
I mean, if this is the end of the series and they're trying to skate out of it and say, we're done, I can let them kind of slide on that. I still think it's one of the weakest endings I've seen since Neverending Story. But, I mean, come on.
What the fuck, man? Neverending Story.
Which one?
Okay.
There's like
number 3.
Well, I was going to say James's comment about the ending scene that goes into my rating. I hated the ending so much because I agree with James. It was just a weak ending. It didn't tie anything up, and it wasn't really foreshadowing the next movie, which is going to be next movie, with or without Jeremy Renner. There's going to be a next movie.
I would like to see it with Jeremy Renner.
It's probably going to come.
I don't know if I want to see one at all. I mean, well, how many of these?
Well, how about like Jeremy Renner fights Bourne to the death or something? I don't know.
What's going to end up happening? But there's probably going to end up being another Bourne movie with Jason Bourne. At some point,
I don't know. I think Matt Damon's done with it.
I don't think Matt Damon has enough scripts on his table that he could pass on that just for the reason of like why the hell would you keep beating that horse?
Yeah,
stay away from Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he's always out for a paycheck.
So
sorry, that was a terrible joke. A terrible joke.
Almost as bad as my Neverending Story.
Oh man,
well,
that was just a fucking weird reference. Neverending Story was the one you pulled out of your ass for a bad ending.
Oh, come on. Everybody wants to chase some bad guys in a left dragon.
If I really wanted to throw something out as a bad ending, I could have said Fred Savage and Little Monsters.
Well, that whole movie was dog shit. At least Neverending Story was kind of kick-ass. Now, are you referring to the ending where just, like, everything disappears and there's, like, a speck of something?
Am I...
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. But this is a bad childhood flashback. Dear God.
Yeah,
to kind of
did fucking terrible things to my youth.
So to kind of put this show back on rails a little bit.
Was Bowie there?
Oh, wow. Wow.
You get really fascinated by that weird little ball thing that,
Welcome to Bad Reference Hour and Real Flix Reviews, ladies and gentlemen.
Poor Waldo.
Ooh. So I gave this, dear God, movie a 2 out of 5. One of the reasons I just didn't like I didn't like certain characters. I didn't like the way they did not add the drama effect I thought the original 3 had, and I hated the ending. I absolutely thought it was one of the worst endings. I agree with James. I think they should have added 20 more minutes and actually have it a spot that wanted you more, leave you where you want more. This to me left me at why do I care? And then for there to be a sequel of this, there has to, they need that reason. Because for me, it's like, okay, I'm done. I don't see it wanting any more. So what about you, James?
I can't go out and just say 2. I can't. I'm also putting this in perspective of the other preceding Bournes.
I did.
I like the other preceding Bournes. I didn't like the third one. I'm not a fan of that one. And I think this one is a little bit more redeeming than the third one. I like Jeremy Renner. I like Aaron Cross. It's more. I lean more towards Aaron Cross than I do Jason Bourne as far as one of my favorite characters of this whole thing. I think that whole scene of him in the cabin with the other agent type thing was very redeeming. I thought there was a kind of bounce and forth back between the two. I give it a 3, honestly.
Wow. I have a hard time.
I think it went out and did what it was supposed to be doing. I did not like the ending. I think the ending is very lackluster. I don't like the spinning camera, things like that. Yeah, I can't say I didn't like it, though.
Well, I just have a hard time justifying a 10-minute scene for a 2-hour movie. That's my problem. I thought the chase scene was a little too long. I didn't think it added any decent drama to it. I understand why they put it in. I just didn't. I think they could have shortened it up, add a little bit more story, or make a better ending. I thought this movie just didn't have any depth. Like at least the original, the first and second one had. Maybe the third one. But to me, it was just missing something that I wouldn't.
I don't think the third one was. I don't think the third one was better than this one. I think the third one was a rush job trying to bring the series to an end, and then they decided to pull this one out of their.
Well, for me, one of the reasons why I like the third one because it finished the story. It rounded up on who, because it finished the story up to the point where they introduced one that told Bourne who he was, and it gave potential for another movie. It left me wanting, okay, what are they going to show when Bourne knows his true name, knows, to me it added on more of, I can't wait for the next one, that to me is what it did.
It was a rush job.
Yeah.
It was too much of a rush job for me.
So what about...
I think if we're gonna discuss the series more, I think we'll have to actually do the series. But as far as I'm concerned, I think this one is better than the third one, and the third one would get a 2 from me, this one gets a 3.
So what about you, Ryan? Would you see this movie, or would you not, being a fan of the first 3?
I'll try to. I got a couple of thoughts. I'll say real quick because I know we're getting up there. Again, huge fan. You guys would know by now that I'm kind of a sucker for a good action movie. Huge fan of the first 2, like you said, John. They're the ones that had the heart. Obviously based on the novels, which are usually a lot more in depth. Got a lot of good source material. I felt the third one, I don't know about a rush job, but it was definitely leaning towards that
action.
Like, okay, we're not doing novels, we're kind of just doing your sort of Hollywood version of the Bourne series, the kind of thing. And with this one, I see it sort of still going in that same direction, still sort of a departure from the original 2. So I was a little hesitant at first. I mean, I'm still gonna definitely see it because again, I'm a huge fan of the universe. I kind of expected a long car chase. I mean, with these series, I mean, the car chases are like Rambo's knife. You know what I mean? It just gets bigger every movie.
Wow, good comparison.
Carrying a claymore. But all in all, I like Jeremy Renner and the stuff that I've seen him in. I know he can definitely, do stuff like this and has the depth to do this sort of universe justice. God help them if they do another remake to this stuff. Sight unseen of this one, they don't need to make another one. I'll definitely go check it out though, and I'm kind of interested on you guys being torn with John on the 2 and James giving it a higher score because I as far as I know of James, he falls more my direction in being a sucker for action movies too. So. Before we introduce
your movie news, Ryan, my thing was just the fact that I like the third one because it finished up the overall story arc. My problem is in a fourth one, it is really hard to introduce a new character with backstory that's already pre-existing. Right. And I didn't want another action movie that was an action movie. I guess that was my problems. I was expecting something else than it was. That's why I gave it such a low score.
Well, and the guy the wrote the first 3 is still continuing to do this one. So I mean, at least there has to be some kind of steady kind of
As long as they don't turn it into
all of them.
As long as they don't turn it to the abomination Resident Evil turned into.
Oh my god.
So what's your movie news, Ryan?
All right. Well, handful of things. InsideMovies.com reported the first shots of RoboCop's new armor. We'll call it because it's not.
Saw it.
Don't hang your head. Don't do that yet. You like the original.
Well, no, I like the original. My problem is if this isn't going to look like it without CG.
I mean, they definitely seem to be going more tactile. It looks to be more
Iron Man
kind of Batman sort of thing.
It's the Iron Man suit that got thrown in the garbage.
It's Iron Man meets Venom.
It's somebody took the Iron Man suit and spray painted it matte black.
Pretty much
with a different helmet. But look, I mean, it's got Gary Oldman, Sam Jackson.
And the guy who
let's see, Jay Baruchel, one of the young kind of come-uppers.
It was the guy who played Rorschach is in there too.
Now I got 3 words for you.
For this,
snakes on a. Well, okay, that doesn't make any plane.
That's what I'm saying. But look, Gary Oldman,
and then Caveman's Valentine.
That guy's a freaking brilliant actor. I mean, he might be one of the best actors in the world.
Well, sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to throw your career like that.
It also has the guy who played Rorschach. It has potential. It has potential to at least live up to the original, which is still not much to live up to. I love the movie, but dear God, it's not good.
Anybody who's a fan of 80s camp is going to be looking forward to this one. Dread.
I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to it. I'm going to go check it out. I never was a fan of the RoboCops. I have seen them all.
Of course.
Just not a fan, but I'm gonna go check it out, and I will hold my judgments until after I see him spike somebody.
Well, here's the thing:
not being a fan might actually make you a fan of this one. I mean, it's probably going to be the old school fans that are going to hate this one, and the people who hated the original like this.
That's a possibility.
All I'm gonna say is it better be as violent as number 1, because if it's like number 3, it's gonna suck really bad.
What's that number 3? The one where it was like the machines were.
Number 3 was like the Disney version of RoboCop. They actually made a TV show after it. I am not kidding. Check it out. There is a RoboCop television show.
Moving along.
What's the other one? Or your other ones?
Well, just a handful of movies I'm looking forward to for right now. Lincoln is coming out, and I know it's just one of those slightly, this could go either way. But it's Steven Spielberg and Daniel Day-Lewis.
Ooh, well, this is the biopic, right?
Both of you have to be a D. Day-Lewis fan.
Yeah.
That dude rules. Major method, actor. So I'm always interested to see what he turns into. I think I mentioned it real quickly before. Judge Dredd's coming back out.
It comes out this Friday.
So that one I'm definitely going to go see. Again, anybody who's a fan of that sort of action camp is going to be in line for that.
The benefit of the new Judge Dredd is Carl Urban.
Right.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who he is, he played Bones in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. He also played one of the Necromancers and Riddick.
He's
and a callback. He was an assassin or one of the guys in Bourne Supremacy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's a really good actor who's had some very campy movies and some very good movies. And every movie I've seen him in, he's the one I like.
He did amazing as Bones.
Oh yeah,
I love that character.
Just saying, amazing.
Besides DeForest Kelly, he's the best one.
Yeah.
Right on. There's a flick coming out called Seven Psychopaths, and this is just. Oh,
I have seen that. Yeah.
Sort of up my alley of just like crime comedies, and it's the reason I'm interested in it's Colin Farrell, Sam Rockwell, Woody Harrelson, and Christopher Walken all sharing a screen together.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
But apparently it's if I remember correctly, just about like a writer in L.A. Who moves to L.A. and then just becomes wrapped up in the criminal underworld of Los Angeles. So hometown pride. I'm gonna.
Isn't this also a limited release too?
I think it might be, dude. It seemed wicked independent when I was looking it up. So I mean, you might have
to
check,
limited releases,
your local art house theater.
Yeah.
If all of those people are in it, I've got to see it just because some of those people are some very odd actors,
and very noteworthy for their oddness.
Christopher Walken, I want to see it just for that.
and Sam Rockwell. Three, I mean, wicked, bizarre, different actors. You know what I mean? That's bridging a spectrum right there.
And you have Colin Farrell, that which is just kind
Colin
of like,
Farrell
what?
To anchor it? I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be funny or what's going on with that. Maybe he's going to be a bad guy.
As long as it's not the same role he played in Total Recall.
Speaking of bad guys...
I was kind of thinking of the same thing about Walken in Sleepy Hollow.
The Hessian? Oh, shit. Anyway, speaking of bad guys, Taken 2 is...
I can't wait to see this.
Oh, man, dude, look, Liam Neeson fan, you know, long-time Liam Neeson
Except for the gray, but yeah.
Hey, and this is not to be confused with Stolen, the Nick Cage movie where his daughter gets kidnapped.
Wait, hold on. Wait, stop the show. You're comparing Nick Cage? Seriously?
No, I'm saying I don't want Taken 2 to be confused with this
Stolen.
movie that's coming out practically at the same time with Nick Cage called Stolen, which is pretty much the same movie.
I guarantee nobody's going to confuse a movie with Nick Cage with Taken 2, because nobody takes Nicolas Cage seriously.
No, not anymore. Well, I don't know. Have you seen the Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans?
It's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I know, but it's a bizarre title for me to be launching out there. But I was actually playing towards his really freakish strengths.
It's Nick Cage.
That's what I'm saying. But if you want to see Nick Cage sort of doing Nick Cage in a movie that requires Nick Cage, that was a good one.
So it's Nick Cage playing Nick Cage on a movie starring Nick Cage.
But that needs Nick Cage is what I'm saying. So it really his bizarre freak personality was awesome in that.
So it's like Con Air then.
Yeah. Red Dawn might be one that I'm looking forward to the most in recent.
Which one?
Or in the recent future or near future. Red Dawn, the remake of Red Dawn.
Now I've heard that they changed the enemy. Do you know who the enemy is supposed to be in this one?
North Korea.
Oh, so they changed it from China. Originally, it was supposed to be China.
Well, you know, basically, just the person who's, you know, we give a shit least who, you know, if they get pissed or not. So, North Korea.
I'm just kind of thinking, like, because, I mean, the title of the movie had to go with China.
Right.
The flag of China.
The Mexicans in the original movie. It was the Russians and the Mexicans that teamed up to invade in the original movie.
Oh yeah.
Hence Red Dawn.
So are we going to do a bad movie compare and contrast on that one? You know, it's a remake.
Are we classifying the original Red Dawn as a bad movie?
It's an 80s movie.
Okay, fair enough. Which, I mean, takes points off of it, but remains a good movie.
Patrick Swayze
still remains a good movie.
Dude, he just went up to you.
The handicap of the 80s and Patrick
Swayze. We've got to get going. We're running a little out of time, but
okay, but
Roadhouse and Black Dog. I love those two movies. They are not good movies.
This is one, guys. I'm going to wrap this up, the movie news, with one that you guys I know have been waiting for the longest time. Birdemic 2, The Resurrection. A platoon of eagles and vultures attack Hollywood, California. Why did the eagles and vultures attack? Who will survive?
Is this like Birds Redo?
It's Birdemic 2.
No.
The Resurrection.
Is this Birds Redo?
Like the Birds, the remake.
Oh, no. It has nothing to
do
with...
It's like Hot Shots Part 2?
It has everything to do with the original Birdemic. And this is Birdemic 2, The Resurrection.
Wow.
So, with movie news, I'm Ryan.
It sounds like it's up there with Redneck Zombies.
Oh, man. I can't wait to drink heavily and watch that.
Well, for once in my life, I've seen James speechless. So, ladies and gentlemen, I gave Bourne Legacy a 2. James gave it a 3. Ryan says it's a must-see, for some reason.
But must see.
Allegedly. And for
reluctantly.
And for Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston, see you next week.
Hi, I'm Rob Charney, Old Guy Tech TV, and I'm here to talk to you today about Windfall. Windfall is your local paper for classified ads, for what's happening in El Dorado County, for just about anything that has to do with El Dorado County. And they've got some great specials going on right now. As a matter of fact, they have a business special that is stated so that it's a 12-week business text ad for only $60. you can't hardly buy anything for $60, let alone a 12-week ad. Now, of course, you can always add to that or shorten it, whatever you think you want to do. They'll work with you 100%. They'll put the artwork together for you. They'll put the layout together for you. All you need to do is get a hold of them, and they'll take care of all the work for you. And trust me, it works. And we've been with the Windfall for a long time, and it's a great relationship between Old Guy Tech TV and News 44 TV and the Windfall. And we want to make sure that you get to take the same kind of advantage. The paper's incredible. I really highly suggest that you go ahead and you pick up a copy of just about anywhere. They're everywhere, any restaurant or in front of the drugstores and many other stores. You'll find the Windfall there, and it's a great deal. And let me tell you a little bit about Rob and Tina. They've worked very hard to make this newspaper something that they're very proud of. They've done it through the School of Hard Knocks. They're incredible people. They work really hard for you. They want to share their experiences for you. And I can't think of a better two people to really take advantage of this and make sure that you get your ad into their paper, because we sure like it. And I know a lot of others out there who like it as well. And one of the things is they decided that they wanted to move to a larger facility. They were cramped. If you ever saw their old office, there's barely any room for people to move. So they had an opportunity to move to a new location, still in Diamond Springs, and they have a open house. And that open house is September 26th, starting at 5 p.m. over here in Diamond Springs. And you know what? If you can come on by and just say hello, that would be great. Take advantage of some of the food and the music and the cars and some of the other stuff that's out there, and really enjoy yourself and have a great time. So I'm looking forward to it. Old Guy Tech TV will be there. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you. If you've got a business or you have a message you want to get out, you come and see us. We'll make sure that gets done. So don't forget, shop the Windfall. Everybody needs a windfall.